Have you ever seen one single event just pack everything in? Top-level sport, big money shifts, and even like a celebrity circus all at once. Well, buckle up, because that's exactly what we're diving into today. A huge football event that really captured the whole picture of modern global sports. We're talking about Chelsea's, well, pretty stunning win over Paris Saint-Germain in the FIFA Club World Cup final. And for this deep dive, we've got some great sources lined up. We're looking at match reports from Sky Sports, a really detailed financial breakdown from BBC Sport, and also some personal thoughts from a key Chelsea player right from their own club website. So our mission today is not just about the exciting game and the upset, though we'll definitely cover that. We want to uncover the massive money involved, what this kind of tournament means for clubs big and small, and maybe even ask some, tough questions about where football's heading. It really feels like a snapshot of the whole thing.
It really does. This event, it perfectly shows how global football is changing, doesn't it? You've got this top-tier competition mixed with huge economics, and it kind of makes you rethink what winning even means in football now, beyond just lifting the cup. It shows how linked it all is.
Okay, let's dive into the match itself first. It was at the MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. Big stage, electric atmosphere, And going into it, Paris Saint-Germain, they were the Champions League winners, right? So everyone figured they were the strong favorites.
Absolutely, especially after they basically dismantled Real Madrid in the semis. Expectations for PSG were sky high.
But Chelsea, well, they clearly didn't read the script. Their performance was just full-on intensity, particularly that first half. So clinical. They really hammered PSG's left side, didn't they? Found space and just exploited it again and again.
Ruthlessly, yeah.
And right at the center of that 3-0 win was Cole Palmer. What a performance from him. Just stellar. He was involved in everything.
Right.
The first goal, it came from Malo Gusto cutting it back, and Palmer's finish was superb, low and hard.
And then just 8 minutes later.
Sure. Almost the exact same goal again. Incredible.
Just clinical.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, he sets up Joao Pedro for the third. Palmer himself said afterwards it felt great, and even better because everyone doubted us.
You can feel the satisfaction there.
Totally. And he added that he likes finals, pointing out he scored in the Euro 2024 final just about a year before. Clearly a big game player.
And that individual brilliance from Palmer, it really connected perfectly with the team's strategy, Chelsea's coach, Enzo Maresca, he basically said they won the game in the first 10 minutes.
Even though the first goal didn't come till the 22nd minute.
Right. He meant by setting the tempo, controlling things. Maresca specifically praised Palmer's positioning, saying there was space to attack there. And yeah, he seemed pretty thrilled for the team. And maybe his upcoming holiday, too.
It wasn't just Palmer shining, though. Joao Pedro took his goal really well, that third one. And he'd already scored twice against Fluminense in the semifinal.
Building momentum.
Yeah. And Robert Sanchez in goal. He pulled off some important saves. Liam Delap even had a couple of late chances for Chelsea to make it 4.
But things really boiled over for Paris Saint-Germain towards the end, didn't they? That pressure in these big finals.
We mean the red card.
Exactly. Joao Neves got sent off for pulling Marc Cucurella's hair after VAR looked at it. And then after the final whistle, just a big brawl between players.
Wow.
It just shows you how high the emotions run, how close to the edge everyone is in these massive games.
Yeah, intense. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Beyond the actual football, this whole thing was a massive spectacle, wasn't it? Sky Sports talked about the glitzy pre-match build-up. They had a fighter jet fly past.
Right.
And get this, the halftime show was 24 minutes long.
What?
Apparently that actually broke IFA rules. The people who make the rules of the game.
24 minutes. That's quite something. More like a concert break.
Exactly. And adding to the whole slightly strange atmosphere were the attendees. You had President Donald Trump there, Tom Brady, Robbie Williams, Coldplay.
Yeah.
Quite the guest list.
A very eclectic mix.
Trump's presence was definitely visible. He was watching the game, okay, but then he actually joined the trophy presentation on the pitch.
Yeah, I saw footage of that.
Sky Sports reported it looked a bit like he was gate crashing it. Said Chelsea captain Reece James and the FIFA boss Gianni Infantino seemed to be trying to gently nudge him aside.
Awkward. Kaveh Solhekol, Sky Sports chief correspondent, he summed it up pretty well. He said, Hollywood couldn't have scripted a more incredible ending.
Yeah.
And he called the whole thing slightly surreal, which, given everything, seems fair.
Absolutely.
Solhekol also pointed out, everyone expected this tournament to be about the big names, Messi, Mbappe, Dembele, Kane, but in the end, it was about Cole Palmer, Chelsea, and Donald Trump.
That really says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just Completely unexpected narratives.
Oh.
Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room, maybe the biggest part of this story off the pitch.
Yeah.
The money. The sheer scale of it. This new expanded 32-team Club World Cup had a prize pot of, wait for it, $1 billion. That's about $726 million.
$1 billion. It's almost hard to comprehend that number in a football context, even now.
It's not just big money. It feels like a financial earthquake, you know? It completely changes the game for clubs globally. It signals where football is heading, massive rewards just for being there.
And it's worth looking at how that billion was split. So $525 million was just for participating, and then another $475 million was based on how well teams did.
Just for turning up, basically.
Pretty much. For some, European clubs got between roughly $13 million and $38 million just for participating, depending on sporting and commercial factors. Other continents had set fees. South American clubs got about $15 million. Oceania clubs around $3.6 million.
So the big winners, prize money-wise, obviously the finalists. Chelsea took home about $84 million in total.
Huge sum.
And Paris Saint-Germain, as runners-up, they bagged around $78.4 million. Not bad for second place.
Not bad at all.
But here's where it gets really interesting, seeing the impact on different sized clubs. Take Auckland City.
Right, the part-time club from Oceania.
Exactly. They walked away with £3.3 million. Mm-hmm. Now, compared to Chelsea's haul, maybe it doesn't sound like loads, but get this. It's about 7 times their entire revenue for 2024, which was under £500,000.
7 times their annual revenue from one tournament.
Yeah. Now, contrast that with, say, Real Madrid. They earned £67 million, which sounds massive.
And it is massive.
But it was only 4% of their total 2024 revenue, which was like $901 million. So the relative impact is just worlds apart.
And that raises a really important point about competitive imbalance, doesn't it? Kieran Maguire, the football finance expert, he talked to BBC Sport about this, specifically about Auckland City.
What were his concerns?
Well, he worried that this massive windfall could completely distort their domestic league back home. It gives them this huge incentive to just reinvest everything, qualify again, and potentially dominate so much that, as he put it, it's difficult to see anybody being able to compete.
So one FIFA tournament could basically kill competition in a whole domestic league.
That's the potential risk, yeah. It's a fascinating, if slightly worrying, consequence.
And for the big European clubs, this money isn't just, numbers on a balance sheet. It translates directly into transfer power.
How so?
Well, because of UEFA's rules, the financial fair play successor clubs can only spend about 70% of their revenue on wages, transfers, and agent fees. So if you earn an extra $50 million from this tournament,
that means an extra $35 million you can potentially spend on players.
Exactly. It's a direct boost to their recruitment budget.
But we're seeing that happen already, right?
Absolutely. Look at Borussia Dortmund. Over 65% of their summer spending, including that £27 million for Joe Bellingham, was basically covered by their Club World Cup money.
Wow.
Chelsea. Their $84 million prize covered a huge chunk of the $198 million they spent on players like Joao Pedro and Liam Delap.
Makes those big fees seem a bit more manageable.
Right. Even Manchester City, who went out earlier than expected, their $38 million earnings paid for their £31 million signing of Ryan Aït-Nouri.
So even an early exit pays for a major signing.
And Real Madrid. That $8.4 million fee for Trent Alexander-Arnold paid off after just 3 games in this tournament. It's fueling the transfer market directly.
It really shows how these tournaments are now integrated into the entire financial ecosystem of the top clubs.
Definitely. But let's bring it back to the people, the players. Think about Reece James lifting that trophy.
Chelsea captain, yeah.
He's a local lad, came through the academy since he was 6. He talked about it being a dream he'd dreamt of his entire life. You could see how much it meant. He was really proud of how they handled PSG, too.
That pure sporting joy, the dream come true. It's still there, isn't it? Amidst all the money talk.
It is, but there's always a but, isn't there?
Usually is. While that joy is real, and Kieran Maguire points out the money is obviously welcome for the accountants, he also flags up a pretty serious concern.
Which is?
Player welfare. Maguire warned that football could be reaching a crisis point because the schedule just keeps expanding. More games, more tournaments like this. It puts immense strain on the players.
So more money, more games, but maybe pushing players too far.
That's the worry. He mentioned a potential conflict between players and owners brewing over this relentless expansion of the calendar.
So you've got Reece James living his childhood dream, and like Kave Solskjaer said, this win put Chelsea back on the map again. It made Chelsea great again.
Big statements, but you see his point.
Yeah, but then you weigh that against these undercurrents, the immense pressure cooker, the final, the crazy money distorting things maybe, and this looming issue of player burnout. It's complicated.
Very.
So wrapping this all up, what does it mean for you listening? I think this deep dive really shows how layered modern football is. You've got the pure sporting drama, the underdog win.
The fairy tale element.
Right. But then you've got these unprecedented financial rewards shaking things up and these growing pains around player welfare and keeping leagues competitive.
And if you zoom out, you see these huge international tournaments aren't just about the sport anymore. They're actively reshaping the economics, the structure, even the power dynamics of clubs all over the world. It's more than just a game.
Definitely more than just a game. It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? As football keeps getting bigger, richer, more global, how does it find that balance? How do you chase the spectacle, the billion-dollar prize pots, without sacrificing the health and well-being of the players who actually make it happen?
That's the critical question.
Will all this money eventually create a fairer global game, lifting clubs like Auckland City? Or will it just make the rich clubs richer, the elite more entrenched, while pushing the athletes themselves to breaking point? Something to think about next time you tune in.